Yeah. Mic check 1 2. Yeah. Mic check 1 2. Yo. Hope we're good. I don't know how my cam is. Man. So, I'm trying to improve the lighting on my end. Sorry, a bit of some challenges. I don't know how clear I am, but I hope you guys can be able to see me well. Yeah, I think we should be able to start. Jumbo African brothers and sisters, this is your boy James Carano, also known as Moj to the E. You dig? I am back once again to live streaming. I know it's been a very long time, you guys, but we finally made it back. And I want to thank all of you guys for the support and things, just how all of you have come through. And I know this would not have been possible, of course, without a small shout out to our sponsors, Carry First, the best digital marketplace in Africa, where you can buy all your skins and in-game items, whatnot. Go to the links; you can be able to check them out there and see what they're selling. Why not for them? This episode of the Player X Africa, or well, Africa X Live, season 2, episode 2. I know I have to correct that on the stream. Of live on the Player X Africa YouTube channel and also TikTok as well. That also together with Shuffle PCs, the providers of all our PC equipment and audio equipment and all that jazz. So if it weren't for them, this would not have been possible. So we're back with a bang. Once again, looking at another week, another time, another moment where we get to talk about what is trending on the gaming, technology, and esports spaces, if you will. So yeah, that's our thing. Yeah, and without further ado, the first thing we're gonna start off with is the Esports World Cup. So a lot of you guys have been wondering what's with all this Esports World Cup talk, like what's going down, what are they telling us, what do they want us to do or know about the Esports World Cup. So that's actually what we're going to go down into detail and look at, and know what they want us to know. So I think that's exactly what we're searching for right now. So I think just to break things down for you guys, I'll be very simple, especially for like my non-gaming audience, people who like technology, but you're not into that gaming or esports stuff. I'll make it very simple for you. So basically, the Esports World Cup is like the culmination of all the gaming competitions in the world that on every title in gaming that you can think of that has a competitive aspect to it, brought into one event. A good example of this, of course, is the Olympics. But this one, of course, is in the gaming section where electronic sports thrives. So here we are. The first thing, of course, I'd like to break down for you is just what that is about. And we're going to check out what it means on their website. So here goes. So here we are. I don't know if this is a good way of looking at things, but yeah. Esports World Cup. I'll just go to the website directly. Just from the top part. Okay, let's go backwards. Esports World Cup is an annual global tournament crowning the best esports club in the world and rewarding them with the biggest prizes in the industry. This is true, of course, not forgetting also the esports athletes, the best esports athletes in the world. They also get their fair share of rewards, if you know what I mean. And nobody goes home empty-handed. So we're going to open up their website, of course, without going to the Wikipedia. Best games, best players, best clubs, life-changing prize pool. And by the way, I'm going to tell you guys for a fact, like literally, this stuff, it is a life-changing prize pool. And for those of you who are not aware, this, last year they dropped, how much was that? How much was the prize pool? I can't remember. But this year, bro, they're about to break the bank with $70 million worth of moolah in people's pockets. And if that doesn't scream a lot, I don't know what does. But at the end of the day, that's what matters. So as you can see here, of course, $70 million. I wouldn't say much. I think the one for last year, 2024, how much was that? Let me go down to the articles. Wow, this is a lot of stuff, huh? And okay. Yeah, last year's was 60 million. Okay, which is great. They've upped the game by 10M. So it means things are on the up. Stonks are strong with this one. Yeah. So, so here we are. Esports World Cup 2025 tournament ticketed schedule is here. So, the festival, the EWC festival starts on July the 7th. The festival is now, just like the Olympics, where there's like an introduction to the Olympics, where, the people come running with the torches and everything. Like the festival is an it's like an esports version of that. So basically, like people do some artistic performances. There are musicians that come and perform and, all that jazz. Then at the same time, whilst all that is done, um, for the people that appreciate art and also what is bringing people together to what it is at that particular period, that's what the Esports World Cup is for. And for those of you that don't know, the event is going to be held in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. That's where all the funky stuff is done. If you know what I mean. We had, for those of you who remember, there was the Gamers 8 festival that happened. I think it started in 2022, if I'm not wrong, correct me. Or 2021, and then 2022, then now it was rebranded to the Esports World Cup, which started last year. That was in 2024. Then 2025 is when now, they where they're back again. And yeah. And as you can see with the poster here, I don't know why it's so freaking low. Why is the picture so low? I need to see which games are here. Okay, for those of you who don't or can't see, the first one is... can I get a better picture or version of the games? Just a moment. And this is on the website. Oh. Let's refresh. I don't know if there's an issue. Anyway, I can't be asked. The first week from July to July 10th to 13th, that is of course after the festival, Valorant is the tournament that's going to start. For those of you who remember, Valorant was not there last year, which was a very interesting shock. But it being there this year actually means a lot. So yeah, it's good that they've actually brought Valorant to this event. It's bound to bring numbers. Day 2, we have Apex Legends. Okay, Arena 2, basically. So all these within week 1 are going to be running at the same time. So there'll be a Valorant event. There'll be Apex as well. There'll be Fatal Fury. This is a game that has just been introduced. It's a fighting game for the FGC community, at least not to be left out. And then, of course, there is Rensport for our petrol heads in the space. So, yeah, those guys who like driving, Rensport is there for you. So, don't feel left out. Week 2, that is from July 17th to 20th, League of Legends, Free Fire, Dota 2, and I'm guessing this is Mobile Legends. So, yes, Mobile Legends bang bang. Week 3, Call of Duty, I think this is Black Ops 2. Hold up. Am I looking at the same one? Yes. Yeah. We're good. We're okay. Call of Duty Black Ops. Is this 2? I think this is 6. This must be 6. It can't be, because 6 is the one that's out. Anyway, I think it's because I can't. The picture is pixelated, can't see clearly. Then there's KWC. I think this is Honors. What was the name of that game, by the way? Bring me back once again. If you Honor of Kings, yes. Sorry, I just had to come to the Wikipedia so that I can confirm that. But yes, Honor of Kings, then StarCraft. Week 4, we have a. What is that? Okay, I can't see this. I can't see this. EWC, please do me some justice. Like, this needs to load. And what's interesting enough, actually, is in all this, there is chess. Yes, guys, finally, for the first time in any electronic sports event, chess is now going to be in the Esports World Cup. So that's huge. Then week 5, we have the regular FC25, which was there last year as FC24. We have Call of Duty Warzone for the Battle Royale Call of Duty people. And then there is Rainbow Six Siege X. So for the first time, Rainbow Six Siege existed with its own, tournament and format. But now there is the introduction of this game we call Siege X. We don't know exactly what it is, whether it's a new game or new format or new thing, but it looks like Ubisoft are capitalizing on something new. So they would like us to know more about that. I don't know if this is actually out, but yeah, I think we will find out. Then week 6, Rocket League will be featuring as usual. Last year it featured as well. I do believe Fortnite did the same, but this year we will not be graced with Fortnite in this tournament, unfortunately. So yes, that's something. Then there is PUBG, the PC version. I don't know if there's a console version of PUBG, but I probably guess there should be or will be. Then there is Tekken 8, and then Teamfight Tactics, and then week 7. My guy, they finish off with one of the best games in FPS history, Counter-Strike. Correct me if I'm wrong, or feel free to voice your thoughts on that one. Then there's Street Fighter 6, and then this last one I do not know what it is, or I can't see. I can't see for squat. So yes. I believe it is Crossfire. So yes. And what was the other one that was missing? This week 4. What was that Champions thing? The Overwatch Championship Series. Yes. Okay, so that's good. With that being said, we look forward to listening and hearing what the games that will, of course, drop. We still don't have any announcements of which particular esports clubs and teams will be there, but of course the highest or the winning team will get 7 million in the bank. So that's definitely something, which is huge. So looking forward to that. And of course the breakdown of all the participants is right here. And we can't wait to see and hear what the world says about that. So looking forward to that. Let's see if there's any content in particular in terms of like YouTube videos. Let's start from the very beginning.
This is the Esports World Cup 2025, and it just got bigger. Over 2,000 players from more than 200 clubs will battle it out in the ultimate test of skill, strategy, and endurance. With a life-changing prize pool of over $70 million on the line, The stakes have never been higher.
But only
Yeah.
one victor into the grand finals.
That's
The
big.
prize money will be distributed across the main event, MVP awards, and the qualifiers. And on top of that, an additional $27 million is up for grabs in the cross-game competition, Club Championship. The week of July 7th, the action kicks off with 7 weeks of intense competition. The world's top esports clubs will go head-to-head
Ah, yes. This is okay. Let's just finish. I'll cover this part later on.
across 24 of the biggest games in esports.
Savage into Leona, but that's amazing.
Every match, every moment, every play brings us closer to one question. Who will rise above the rest?
They will march on to the semifinals.
Every club will be looking to challenge the 2024 title holders, Team Falcons. At the end, the club champions will be crowned.
And there it is, reign supreme at the Esports World Cup.
Here's what it takes to come out on top. Each club can compete in all 25 tournaments to earn points and climb the club championship leaderboard. The more points a club accumulates by the end of the tournament, the higher its ranking. The club with the most points wins the EWC and is crowned the best esports club in the world, taking home $7 million.
Life-changing money.
Isn't just a competition. The Esports World Cup will transform Riyadh into the best gaming festival ever. Esports
Yeah.
fandom meets gaming culture, offering
Yeah, this is the
visitors
festival.
immersive experiences across more than 50,000 square meters. This will be a true celebration of everything that makes gaming great. The world will be watching. Be there. Witness the action.
His phenomenal was absolutely gold.
See you in Riyadh.
Crazy, yeah? Big stuff. Big stuff. So that's something. What else can I see? There's Instagram. Esports World Cup, everything you need to know. We probably need to know everything. I think there's a lot of questions. I'm guessing with very many people. Sorry, excuse me. There's a lot of questions, of course, with people who are wondering what is. Sorry, let me come back to screen. There's a lot of questions with people, of course, asking, how do I enter this Esports World Cup? A lot of the information, of course, is mentioned in the YouTube page. Okay, well, YouTube, yes, but well, YouTube is pretty much not clear. Majority of what is being fed is on Wikipedia. Depending on which specific game you are actually interested in. So, yeah, most, if not all, these competitions here will or have a qualification stage for each game. So the boxes are open for everybody to participate. I think probably the only challenge will be those people that register. How will the people that register for those qualifiers? Some of them may face challenges in terms of facilitation, and a good case in point is my comrades in Africa, and that is why the YouTube channel is actually labeled as such, or our brand is actually based on that. A lot, if not all, Africans face the challenge of actually participating in those qualifiers, and we know for a fact that Africa has massive talent, and if anything, most, if not all, I'm pretty much sure, guessing all Africans would really love the facilitation of their players to be able to participate in these events. So if anything, I know if we were to, if Africa was to put itself in a position where they start, I don't know if I should say begging. I want to put it in a nice way, such that it doesn't look like we are begging. But from what I do understand is, like, there are people within Africa that can be able to sponsor or facilitate specific players to be present in this event. And we know for a fact Africa has superb talent. All of you guys know. And I'll give the first example. Guilty Gear Strive, the World Championship 2024 last year. The world champion came from Africa. Those of you who know Verix is an esports player that is recruited by Solo Esports. And his performance at that game last year was phenomenal. Nobody saw it coming. All the people that actually, if for those of you that of course know, and I think even all African countries should actually know this. I don't know why his home country doesn't celebrate him as much as he should. I know his community at home does in Senegal, but like, people should be recognizing such talent like on a national level. How he still doesn't get credit for his performance at that stage is crazy. Like, oi, something needs to be done. Something actually needs to be done. Like, Africans need, like, people need respect, for real. The kind of performance they put in, the hours they put in, these guys put some crazy hours, and some crazy ungodly hours to become that good. And they, like, African players need to be celebrated in as much as they should. I think, just to show you guys peek of what I'm talking about. Guilty Gear Strive. And I think even some of you know that actually I uploaded that video of him when he was actually winning the championship. You can be able to see it on our TikTok. Let me just go here. I uploaded some clips from, there's some clips we got from the Esports World Cup last year of some various games. With that being in mind, I think, let me show you guys this one.
Take him to the other corner. Wild assault to force this pressure. Verix interrupts. Verix is your Arc World Tour 2023 Guilty Gear Strive champion.
This was him, by the way.
Found the hit. No mistakes there. He did it in winner's side all the way against Flash, against his training partner. And look at this guy raising his hand as he is your Arc World Tour 2023 champion here for Guilty Gear.
So this was him.
Raise up your trophy, Max! It's all yours! Your 2024 champion!
He almost lost his voice. Yeah. So that was him. And this was his homecoming, by the way. And you can see, like, it's literally clearly mentioned here. The first world champion in gaming and esports from Africa. Like, a world champion. He's the first of his kind. So, yeah. So yeah, if I think I feel like this guy is um like he should be an icon in his own merit. Like no one has accomplished what he's been able to accomplish from Africa. No one. Like he's literally the first of his kind. Um, okay, for those of you who can see, let me go back to this. Ismaila Verix Gia is a Senegalese fighting games player currently representing Solo Esports. He's an ARC World Tour champion, winning Guilty Gear Strive in 2024. So that was something. So yeah, uh, that was massive. Need I say more? Need I say more? And we've seen even other possibilities of people that have shined in esports, especially on and on a global landscape. I'll give a good example. Let's go back to Wikipedia, or not even Wikipedia. Let's just do this. Bravado. Wait, not even Bravado. Hold on. Anubis. I'll come to you, Bravado. I'll come to you. Anubis Esports, Valorant, Campus, Clutch. I don't even need to say more, by the way. Campus Clutch 2022 champions. Forgive my Zibelli. I'll go to the wiki. I'm trying to look for. Just look at how these guys are literally destroying the region in MENA in MENA. Oh no, this was 2022. But the whole team left, if I'm not wrong. So it was very sad. But oi. Going back, let's go to 2022. Where's the campus clutch? Let's hold on. Yeah, this one, 2021 actually. Red Bull, yeah. So you can see the Red Bull Campus Clutch World Final winners will also receive an exclusive invitation to watch an upcoming Valorant Masters event. So as you can see, Anubis Gaming were the Red Bull Campus Clutch World Champions in 2021. Yeah, excuse me, 2021. So we have world champions here in Africa. Do I need to mention anything? We've seen another group. Let's see, Counter-Strike. Bravado Gaming from South Africa. These are other guys. Need I say more? Yes. Project Destiny 1.0. I think that's how they call it, of course, on their website. Bravado Gaming won. Okay, these ones here in 2017 are they're actually the African Championships. So from here, ESEA Season 28 Premier Division North America, they won the Mountain Dew League. This is in the US. And this is a B-tier tournament. Then on top of that, they went on to second place DreamHack Open Winter 2018. They won DreamHack Mumbai 2018 as well in the same year, first place. Yeah. Like literally, they won another DreamHack event. So those are like two events they've actually won back. Well, not back to back, but they've topped those events. So Africa has talent. It's just facilitation and opportunity. I think those are the things that Africa is really missing. But if they have those two, and if you can add also on top of that, infrastructure is also another one. Those are things that we're actually missing. So that's that. Need I say more? If not, I think I close my case. Close my case. So yes. That being said, do I need even to add any more to that discussion? I think we can skip that. So that is all for the Esports World Cup and all the discussions that I need to have there. But if anything is to be said, I think I don't want to sound like like Africa is begging for opportunity, but Africa wants opportunity. So we know we have the talent. It's just we are not in a position to do it because we lack those three things. So maybe even more. Who knows? So yeah. In other news, just as I go looking for material, hold on, wait a minute. So let me close all these down. I think we're done. Esports World Cup things for today. Or do I need to say more? Whoa. Do I need to say more? Whoa. Okay, so here we are, looking on sorry, hanging in the balance. Sorry, I hope I'm not hanging in there. The other piece, I think, of course, that I saw. So, just before we continue, I wanted to go to IGN Africa so that we see whether there's any content that is there for us. Doctor Who season 2, no. Ben Affleck and John Bernthal are just obstacles to the real protagonist. Interesting, isn't it? The biggest game releases of May 2025. Let's have a look at this. Actually, would like to know which game releases are there. Are they stuck? Okay. The games are not releasing. All right, good. Good. Street Fighter 6, Nintendo Switch pre-order trailer. Okay, Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves. Okay, that is interesting. Yeah, I think basically that's what I'm seeing that is important here. I think it's just this that is missing or is a mess. I don't know what's up with that, but
Hello once again.
thank you. Yo, what is up with this thing? Okay.
Hello once again, everybody. Another month is here, and you know what that means. The rent is due. But if you have any fun money left over after paying that, maybe you can spend it on one of the dozens of new video games releasing in the next 30 days and change. So here, without further ado, are May 2025's biggest game releases. On the first, Despelote is out for everything, and while this could conceivably be classified as a soccer game, it's more of a slice-of-life game about how much people were into soccer in Ecuador in 2001. If you don't really dig soccer and prefer digging holes in the ground,
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
that's too damn bad! Well, you're also in luck because Dig VR comes to PC VR and PlayStation 2. In this light simulation, you do lots of truck stuff, including but not limited to digging holes in the ground, retrieving stuff out of bodies of water, and accidentally wrecking somebody's patio furniture. That's also on Meta Quest 2 and up already. On the second, the co-op action roguelike Vellum leaves early access on PC, which features more ink magic than you can shake a feathered quill at. On the 5th, Drop Duchy drops on PC, and while the name sorta sounds like disgusting bathroom slang, it actually refers to the clever way this roguelite combines Tetris with strategy mechanics, with each dropping block effectively becoming new land in your kingdom. Or I guess duchy, rather. A duchy is like a kingdom, but it's run by a duke. I think you're a duke. Or at least drop a dookies. Heyo! On May 6th, Captain Blood comes to everything, a swashbuckling pirate action game, and the name might be right at home with plenty of other aggro, try-hard, violent-sounding video games that scandalize parents. It's actually based on a novel from 1922, so who knows, maybe it scandalized your great-great-grandparents when they caught your great-grandpa poring over it under the covers by candlelight, or whatever it was that people used to read violent books under the covers in the 1920s.
A secret now that only fire can tell.
On the 8th, Bahamut and the Whack Whack Tree comes to PC, which is a 2D adventure game rooted in Arabian folklore, which may have the most fun-to-say title of any game coming out this month. Say it along with me. Bahamut and the Whack Whack Tree. Wasn't that fun? Thank you for playing along. You know that part in Office Space where a bunch of software developers entertain the thought of money laundering, but then realize they don't actually know what money laundering involves? Well, if you made a video game based on not knowing how to launder money, it might look a bit like Cash Cleaner Simulator, a physics-based game in which you must take dirty money from criminals and then give it back to them spotless. Considering how much everyone's enjoying the cozier side of drug dealing in Schedule 1, maybe a squeaky clean approach to money laundering is the next crime wave to sweep the Steam charts. Oh, and that's also coming to PS5 and Xbox Series later this year.
Hold up. Why are people... What's going on? What's with all this simulator stuff? The other time I saw a drug dealing simulator. I can't remember the name, but I've forgotten about it. But then now we have cash cleaning simulator for money laundering. And these things are allowed.
Imperial is an action RPG that'll send you
can't be asked.
delving into deep space
be
monoliths
asked.
to figure out what's inside, I suppose, and probably kick its ass while you're in there. That's coming to PC, PS5, and Xbox Series. Pixel Shire is a quaint-looking RPG that blends life sim elements, town building, and combat, so if you're pissed off at Stardew Valley for some inexplicable reason, maybe you can go play this out of spite, or because you want to have a nice cozy time. Whichever, that's also coming to PS5 and Switch sometime later on. Still on the 8th, there's Revenge of the Savage Planet, the follow-up to the 2020 comedic sci-fi exploration adventure which had you stranded on a distant planet due to a mix of corporate greed and stupidity. Fittingly enough, the studio behind the first game, Typhoon Studios, was acquired by Google and merged into Stadia Games and Entertainment before a mix of corporate greed and stupidity resulted in that entire department being shut down a year later, stranding the entire development team. Well, after regrouping and forming a new studio, here is a fun-looking sequel, and the revenge in the title makes a whole lot more sense with that context. Anyway, the new game features online and couch co-op, so you and a pal can terrorize goofy-looking aliens together. That's coming to both PlayStations, the Xbox Series, and PC. Finally, on May 8th, there's The Midnight Walk, which is a very cool, albeit nightmarish-looking adventure from the developers of Lost in Random, and I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around what the actual gameplay loop is, but it's given little nightmares, and it's claymation as hell, and it can be played in VR or in 2D. That's coming to PC, PC VR, PS5, and PSVR 2. On May 12th, the open-world survival game Project Myst comes to early access on PC, which looks a little bit like Myst with guns, or maybe Far Cry with puzzles and depression, but either way, it's got flying whales and big scary hands, so that's fine with me. Just when you think you've ripped and torn...
I think people do too much, especially game devs, too much, especially in terms of like first-person shooters. And I've seen this a lot, especially with a particular set of game developers where the gun and the hand and the gun are right in front there. Everything else that comes after that is like fantasy on another level, ridiculous level. So, oi. Game devs, slow down on the Gatorade and the Red Bulls, please.
Until it was done, they pull you back in and they say, you call this done? There's clearly lots more ripping and tearing left to do, and that is exactly what is happening on May 15th in Doom: The Dark Ages, a game that is really hard to talk about without just yelling swear words at the top of my lungs, so I'm gonna do my best. This time around, Doom Guy's got a cape, and he's got a shield with saw blades on it, and he's got a gun that grinds up skulls and shoots them at people like buckshot, and a dragon with laser wings that he can ride around on, and you know what? I don't even know what else it has.
You see what I mean? Like, this is too much.
Because I saw all of that and I was like, yeah, Doom is awesome. Keep up the great work, everybody. Keep making Doom games. I'm glad they exist.
Wow.
Anyway, that's on new gen and PC. Anyway, do you like roguelites? Do you like deck building? Do you like designing dungeons? Well, if you answered yes to any of these things, you may be eligible for hours of enjoyment thanks to Into the Restless Ruins. And all snark about the abundance of roguelite deck builders aside, this one does have an interesting hook in that the deck that you're building is the floor plan of the dungeon you're exploring. So I can see this one clicking very well with the Blueprints crowd. That's coming to PS5, Xbox Series, Switch, and PC. This month's Absolutely F***ing Not award goes to Tunnels, a VR game that has you crawling around in, that's right, tunnels. But guess what else is in the tunnels? A bunch of scary stuff. And I will absolutely f***ing not be playing this game because of the reasons that I just listed. I've always said that everything looks way scarier in a flashlight beam, and this couples that basic premise with intense claustrophobia. So if that's your thing, have fun with that. It's on MetaQuest 2 and up. No thank you. Absolutely f***ing not.
MetaQuest, that's the game or the game platform for Facebook. Interesting. Or the game platform for Meta. So yeah, that's a very interesting one.
On May 16th, Capcom Fighting Collection 2 comes to PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC, which features the following 2D and 3D brawlers: Capcom vs. SNK Millennium Fight 2000 Pro, Capcom vs. SNK Mark of the Millennium 2001, Capcom Fighting Evolution, Street Fighter Alpha 3 Upper, Power Stone 1 and 2, Project Justice, and Plasma Sword Nightmare of Bilstein. If you'd rather fight streets in a much more literal sense, Roadcraft
Why do this
is the latest heavy-duty truck simulation sandbox from the folks who gave us Mud Runner and Snow Runner, and instead of just driving to and fro over rough terrain, this one will have you cleaning up and doing construction in the wake of natural disasters. I had a blast with Mud Runner's expeditions, so I'm curious about this one. I'm a big fan of those trucks. That's on PS5, Xbox Series, and PC, May 20th. Fantasy Life.
Okay, I'm looking forward to that one.
Life I, The Girl Who Steals Time, is a fantastic sounding time sink described as a slow life RPG that'll see you bouncing between 14 different jobs and also time traveling a bit. That's on both PlayStations, Xbox Series, PC, and Switch, May 21st. JDM, Japanese Drift Master, is that slick-looking Initial D inspired racing game that was supposed to be out in March, but now it is skidding onto PC May 21st instead. Still on the 21st, Monster Train 2, the follow-up to the hit 2020 deck builder, pulls into the station to deal you a whole new hand. That's on PC, Switch, Xbox Series, and PS5. On May 22nd, Blades of Fire hits PS5, Xbox Series, and Epic Games Store on PC. That's a pretty gnarly looking action RPG with an emphasis on weapon crafting, and it's from Mercury Steam, the Spanish studio that had a hand in the Castlevania Lords of Shadow games, as well as the most recent 2D Metroid games, that Metroid 2 Remake, Samus Returns, and the dreaded Metroid Dread. If you want to get medieval, but in a more literal architectural sense, City Tales Medieval Era is exactly what it sounds like, a city builder set in the olden days, and that's hitting early access on the 22nd as well. Bloodshed may sound like a very scary place to keep your lawnmower and yard waste bags, but it is in fact a first-person roguelite survivors-like, as in Vampire Survivors. So the combat is handled automatically, I think, or rather just spammed non-stop, and all you need to worry about is moving around, which is easier said than done. If you are a wizened elder millennial like myself, this may be reminiscent of a handful of underrated 90s shooters, specifically Blood, Shadow Warrior, and
I think I'll mention for a fact. I used to be into these like shooting games, if you know what I mean. But I think I'm getting old. I think I'm getting old. I've outgrown them. But anyway, I know some of you guys, this might be your cup of tea. I'm not questioning anything, but yeah.
Heretic. That's leaving early
Courtesy of
access
IGN.
on the 22nd, and I'm intrigued. Still that day, Mobile Suit Gundam Seed Battle Destiny Remastered is an overhaul of the 2012 Vita game based on the 2002 anime that is getting its first English localization. Despite dropping when my Gundam fandom was at an absolute fever pitch, I never really got into Seed beyond building one single kit of the Buster Gundam, but if you're all about the Strike and the Aegis Gundam, you can finally fulfill your Battle Destiny on Switch and PC.
Go back. Just look at this name. Why such a long name? Mobile Suit Gundam Seed Battle Destiny 4 words. I mean, not 4, 7. Why?
Beyond building one single kit of the Buster
I'm
Gundam,
even
but
tired
if you're
after
all
I'm
about
done.
the Strike and the Aegis Gundam,
even
you can
tired.
finally fulfill your Battle Destiny on Switch and PC. Still that day on PC is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tactical Takedown, which puts a turn-based strategic spin on stomping the foot, which sounds pretty cool, and honestly, they haven't all been winners, but I think it's safe to say that the steady trickle of TMNT games we've been getting over the past couple years is probably the most consistent it's been since the late 80s and early 90s, and I say cowabunga to that, my friends. Last but not least, on May 22nd is Zombie Army VR, which puts a more immersive, headset-centric spin on Rebellion's Grindhouse spin-off of the Sniper Elite games, and you can eviscerate hordes of undead fascists up close and personal on PC, PSVR 2, and MetaQuest 2 and newer. If you feel the recent resurgence of feudal Japanese games like Rise of the Ronin, Assassin's Creed Shadows, and the upcoming Ghost of Yotei are too historically accurate, maybe it's time for a trip down memory lane with Onimusha 2 Samurai's Destiny. This gives Capcom's classic 2002 feudal Japanese action-adventure a nice glow-up along with some tweaks to controls and quality of life improvements, and it features things that did exist like Oda Nobunaga and Samurai, and also things that probably did not exist like magical abilities and monsters. That's on PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC, which means you can pretty much play it anywhere. On May 29th, Fuga, Melodies of Steel 3 hits PC. The official Steam description reads, quote, "The dramatic RPG Fuga Melodies of Steel series is now complete," which really doesn't seem like it would turn many heads, but maybe they're trying to overcorrect for the graphic description of the first game, which reads, Fuga, Melodies of Steel is an RPG where you place children, each with their own unique characteristics and skills, at different gun turrets in a tank to fight against the enemy, which is flat out deranged even if they are cartoon animal children, so it definitely sounds like a dramatic RPG, I'll give them that. That same day, Bitcraft Online resources and build prolific YouTuber and composer solve the
Accurate to assume that I couldn't exactly not say that is or isn't almost partially incorrect.
Some of the biggest games of the month are being saved for the very end of the month. Also on the 30th is Elden Ring Night Rain, which takes the tried and true FromSoft action RPG formula and gives it a roguelite spin, with more streamlined progression and a shrinking map of evil poison fog that you gotta contend with while scrambling around looking for resources. I know the 3-player co-op rubbed some folks the wrong way when it underwent a public network test, but from what I've gathered, it can also be played entirely solo, which probably makes it feel more akin to an open world Dead Cells than a medieval Fortnite trio. Oreos or whatever. Anyway, new universe, there's Lost Soul Aside on PS5 and PC that day as well, which looks to sit well with the Devil May Cry crowd, though I regret to inform any fans of the recent Devil May Cry Netflix anime that it seems to be woefully lacking in Limp Bizkit. Then again, maybe the PC modding crowd will save the day and reskin the main dude to look like Wes Borland or something. Hey, could be Durst. On that note, it's time for me to go do whatever it is I do when I'm not making these videos.
Thank you, guys.
If you'd like to stay up to date with all of the games that have ever come out and ever will come out, go download the IGN Playlist app. It is a massive database that lets you track your collection, backlog, wish list, or just make arbitrary lists of your own design. As always, huge thanks to Amanda Medina, Chris Del Padre, Logan Plant, and Taya Oyakan for helping make this video happen. If you are not sick of hearing me talk and would like to hear me wax intellectual about FromSoft games, check out the feature I did about the Duskbloods, that game that is not Bloodborne 2. If you'd rather hear me talk about my
Yeah, I think that is it for the biggest game releases of May, the ones we should be expecting. Other than that, let us go back to the tech news. Do you have anything? Nothing. Yeah, I think enough said. Going now back to, let's go to this, go Esports, see what the videos they are doing this week. Yeah.
Yes.
Before we actually go there, you guys will allow me to check other things. There is something I wanted to react to. I can't remember what it was. I've completely forgotten. Oh yeah. I wanted to watch this thing with you guys, by the way.
Astralis has hit.
So, for those of you who don't know, Astralis is an esports team that is based in Denmark. They got notoriety after they created the most successful team in the world after T1, if I'm not wrong. I could be wrong, but yeah, but after T1 League of Legends team from South Korea. But over the last couple of years, Astralis has not been doing very well. The team crumbled into pieces, and it's not performing as it should have. Some of the players left, some joined, others after joining left again. Like, the team is a mess. The team is a complete mess. So just saw this video. I thought I could have a look at it.
Bottom. Again.
It's back. Here's him coming. Headshot getting the first man. This will be a magical 1v3 clutch. He's got it down to one man. Stare. Oh, he loses it. It is a 3K for Alex666. The number of the beast says payback's a bitch.
That is 5 major qualification defeats in a row from Astralis.
For the 5th time in a row, Astralis, one of the most storied orgs in esports history, will not be attending a Counter-Strike major. This comes after a devastating loss to B8 that ended in an embarrassing 1v3 situation that snuffed out their dreams of making it to Austin. But this specific loss can spell something even worse for the org: financial ruin. However, this morning it was announced that Cadian has been dropped from Astralis, and a familiar face is stepping out of the shadows to try and save this team from complete annihilation. And if anyone could fix this shit show, maybe it's the Giga Chad Hooksy.
And for those of you who are wondering, what am I talking about here, or what this guy is talking about? Basically, there is a game called Counter-Strike 2. It has, if you haven't played it, the game is free. You can check it out on your PC or your computer or your laptop. Download Steam. From the Steam marketplace, you will see Counter-Strike 2. Download that game, play it, for you to understand what is being talked about here. So the game has a competitive side to it, and it is carried in to the level where there are professional players that are actually paid the same way you would get a traditional sports team for basketball or football to actually play these games. And that is actually the ecosystem of esports altogether. So Astralis being an esports team is just similar to like how Manchester United from England or Liverpool or Real Madrid or Barcelona, you name it, those big teams. So Astralis was one of the biggest teams in esports history, especially when they performed extremely well in Counter-Strike competitive esports. But as it stands, right now they're not in a good place. And that's because they have been destroyed in multiple tournaments right now. They're in the worst of the worst situation. They're even much worse than Manchester United, if you ask me. So, yeah, we're here now. And I'm sorry for the Man U fans. Please forgive me for that. But, I'm trying to basically make you understand what I mean. But for us to know even more, let's just watch the video and without further ado.
For context, Astralis used to be the shining star of competitive Counter-Strike, helping solidify Denmark as the home of Counter-Strike during the global offensive era.
Exactly.
Majors, countless other tournaments, and MVP awards, star players, and a system that changed the way the game would be played forever. However, as I and many others in the scene have documented over the last few years, that has come crashing down. We all know the lore by now. Astralis hit a downward spiral in the online era, culminating in Device exiting in his emotional move to NIP, and the rest of the team falling apart.
But I can tell you guys for a fact, the time when Device left to go and play for Ninjas in Pajamas, or for those of you who know as NIP, that was the time when Astralis started crumbling. I'm telling you for a fact, as soon as he went to NIP, like the team was just crumbling into pieces. And the legendary status that established Denmark as a talent filled country, very sad, is coming to an end. Very, very sad. So it's unfortunate to see this.
While the org scrambled to find a new identity. Meanwhile, Device's time on NIP is marred with poor results and personal issues that caused the offer to take leave, before finally deciding to come back to Astralis in October of 2022. News that comes after the team failed to qualify for the Rio Major, the first time in the organization's history. And all of this context is important, but our story really starts with Device's return, as it gave the org another chance to rebuild around their former star and potentially some of the original core players. Unfortunately, around this time, nothing seems to really stick, and every iteration led to more failure.
And it's left on to Buzz. 1v3, the last hope for Astralis. Liquid, the tides washing over them as they take this 2-0. Team Liquid knock out Astralis.
Make that just one, and it's Glaive, the IGL, who needs a lead from the front.
A legendary team, legendary players, a legendary organization, but they will not even make challenges here at Paris, the final CSGO major, and NIP are still fighting for that spot. They go 2-2 after a 2-0 against Astralis. So yeah, for Zip as well, it attends every single CSGO major except the last two back-to-back. Devastation, I think you could say, for Astralis, who have been trying to reform and refine their form in the last couple of years.
The definitive low light was the team failing to make it to Paris, the final major that capped off the CSGO era, and now they're second in a row. However, there is a silver lining. Soon the game would be switching to CS2, giving Astralis a chance to start fresh.
Yeah.
And they do so in the weirdest way possible. It's obviously a whole other story, but allegedly Stown and Yabi were supposed to extend their contracts with Heroic if the team pushed out Cadian. It seemed like that's what Heroic was doing, but the pair of riflers blindsided Heroic anyway by joining Astralis in what seemed like the 11th hour. They deny the allegations of backstabbing both Heroic and Cadian, but regardless, are now on Astralis with...
By the way, and you can tell me this for a fact, I do not care what people think in the space. Okay, well, I do, but let's be honest, guys. By the way, that combination of Stavin and Yabi pronounced, okay, it's written Jabbi, but it's pronounced Yabi. There is a reason why they're called Stabby, by the way. And it's a coincidence that the when both names are joined, that's what it's called. Because literally, they stabbed Cadian in the back. They made him get kicked out of Heroic, the former team that they were both in together with Cadian. These are actual players in the team that I'm talking about. In another esports team called Heroic. So as soon as Cadian got kicked out, he had no place to go. The two players got a deal with Astralis. And funny enough, Astralis poking at Heroic just so that they can get those players. And bro, and I know you guys will tell me one or two things, but like that was the most grimiest move I've ever seen Astralis do. Give their players, those two players, a place to move, even after they decided that they were going to remain at Heroic. But also at the same time, even here, this is not the first time that they've actually done that. There are also other grimy things that they've done on top of that. That being said, Cadian, whilst he is in limbo after he was kicked out of Team Liquid, the team that he joined after he was kicked out of Heroic by these two guys, joins Astralis. At the last minute, I don't even understand how he joined that team. And he meets the two players that kicked him out from their former team. And he's like, it's okay, let's just play. How he just decided, okay, let's just do that, beats me. And I even hear within the community that they were not even supposed to pick Cadian. They were supposed to pick Hoxie, the guy that you've heard being mentioned at the beginning of the Score Esports video, which is very sad. Like, this is how far drama in esports goes. So that is crazy. So, yeah. And, such kind of unethical business practices is what now, if I can assume correct, got Astralis in the position that it's in right now. And it's very sad. How they'll get out of this, I don't know. They've brought Hoxie, yes, but is there any hope of reviving the Danish dynasty back?
Device.
Who knows?
And wouldn't you know it? They failed to qualify for yet another major, their third in a row. And guess who joins up with them less than a year later? Cadian, who had been struggling massively as the IGL of Team Liquid and was apparently just backstabbed by these two riflers. Absolutely insane top 5 moment in CS history.
How we agreed to that?
Adds to the clown fiesta that this org has become. That being said, on paper, this team looked legit. Device, 3 talented young riflers, and although he's struggling off the op, one of CSGO's best IGLs if he gets back in form. Well, despite showing some signs of life in the middle of the year, this Astralis iteration continues to suck, and surprise, surprise, miss another major.
It's just Yabi. Nathan has got a double kill, but he can't stop Jumbo. The story of the RMR will have its fairy tale ending. No one can question their run. Led by their fearless caller, Passion UA, have qualified for the Perfect World Shanghai Major.
Now, I want to mention that during all of this, Device is still playing pretty damn well. It's hard to gauge how good he still is compared.
By the Device is a really good player, and I can tell you for a fact, most of the Oppas, for those of you who are not in the Counter-Strike scene or don't understand, Oppa is the sniper. Those in those who the best snipers in this game, all copied the same formula that Device came up with. Like, Device is one of the goats of Counter-Strike. The way he ops, the way he snipes is just on another level. If you see the clips this guy has pulled off, they are so crazy. So crazy. And even to this day, this guy still performs well. I wouldn't say like overperforms, but he performs well. He literally carries the team. And it's so sad that even as the more he keeps carrying, the team doesn't do him the same justice. So it's like, it's a very sad ending. Very sad ending for him.
That original core, given that this roster clearly isn't clicking, but he is nowhere near being washed. Cadian, on the other hand, and I say this as someone who actually likes the guy, seems to be one of those players that have really struggled after the transition to CS2. I don't know if it's him off the op or the game itself, but he just doesn't look like the same Cadian we all once loved or hated. As for Stown, Yabby, and Stair, yeah, they all have...
If you ask me, Cadian would have just remained an OPA. How he decided to go into rifling, if for those of you who also don't understand, once again, opping, rifling, these are positions or roles in a professional Counter-Strike team. He used to play as the sniper, but now he's rifling or using a rifle. So it's very sad to see him transition to that. And you can see from the results, he's not been performing well. He hasn't. He's actually the poorest performing player on the team as of the time before he was benched or before he was fired. I think I'll just use those words. Before he was fired. So yeah.
Have their moments for sure, but just nothing consistent in this era of Counter-Strike that's going to turn out results. And 2025 has been the same damn story. Despite a glint of hope at PGL Bucharest, Astralis have become irrelevant. It feels like the only reason we still talk about them is in context of their fall from grace, which is understandable. I mean, they went from winning almost everything to literally nothing since 2019. And after losing to B8 last week, they will miss out on their 5th major in a row, and it only gets worse. Missing out on 5 majors means 5 majors go by without sticker money. To an outsider, that may sound like nothing, but CS fans will know that getting your sticker in the game could mean hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars for your org. And as a historic Danish organization, no matter how shit they might be, Astralis would make a lot of money from these sales. But if you aren't winning tournaments or making sticker money, how the f are you paying your players' salaries?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Jersey sponsors are only going to get you so far. And according to Overdrive, the Russian CS2 insider / scout for Team Spirit, Astralis are now on the verge of bankruptcy. As Dust2 already reported, we don't know for sure since Astralis has gone private. But that being said, they've spent a lot of money on a lot of... We don't know...
There's no way.
For sure,
Astralis left the stock market.
On a lot of shit that has not worked out, so it's not surprising. And Overdrive claims that they either need to sell or completely shut down. Now, as ass as they currently are, CS2 without Astralis doesn't quite feel right. Don't get me wrong, I don't want them winning majors anytime soon, but every story needs a villain. And I do feel for the boys on this team too. They're going through some shit right now with the pressure of being on one of the most prestigious orgs in esports history. That can't feel good. However, it seems like Astralis isn't going down without a fight, regardless of what their financial future might be. This morning, it was announced that none other than Hooksy would be replacing Cadian as the team's in-game leader. And this is fucking huge. Not only does Hooksy come with a ton of his own lore as one of the biggest underdogs in the game, but as G2's former IGL, he has gotten a lot of praise from his former teammates, especially as of late. Still, this comes with a lot of pressure. Hooksy might be getting gassed up right now, but he does have his doubters due to his lack of mechanical finesse. So saving this team will be no small feat. All that in mind, I do think that dropping Cadian was still the obvious choice here. It might not be his fault, but given his performance and recent record as the IGL, he was the odd one out. Though I should also mention that Cadian did tweet out shortly after the news drop saying, quote, "We'll share more later, interesting times." Now, next to whatever drama comes of that, will Astralis do anything else? Was Cadian the only issue, and can they bounce back after years of failure? Or is this just another band-aid? If it is the latter, and Device is the only working piece left on this team, will he jump ship while he still has the time? I mean, G2 needs a new opper, and who knows how much time Brokey has left on FaZe. For Device, there are options. As for Astralis, if Hooksy or any other changes they might make don't work out, maybe it's time to just call it quits, and maybe rely on the Danish academy system to create a new team. As corny as it sounds, they might need to find their own donk. Sell and fully rebuild from the ground up, or go up in flames and cement yourself as both the greatest and worst org in CS history. That, or Hooksy, of all people, come back to CS and save Astralis.
it's gonna be tricky, especially right now. The way Counter Strike has become so competitive, you can see with the likes of Team Falcons creating a super team with some, if not all, of the best players in the game right now. Vitality having won or having left unbeaten, I think, the whole of this year. I don't know if they've lost any single game or tournament, but I don't think so. So, best left unsaid. I don't think, in my opinion, Hooksy will save the team altogether. But we'll just wait and see. Who knows? Who knows? It's not up to me. I think it's up to them to decide. Yes. So that's that. Let's see. What else do we have? What else do we have? Oh boy, forgive those ones. I mean, what is that? Pay to lose esports. I think I'll watch this later on, not now. Probably later. Counter-Strike should be dead by now. A lot of people have said this, but they haven't. And we've seen why. Richard Lewis. Okay, I'll watch that later. Let's see this. Which tournament is this? No.
Like, I constantly want to reiterate because it's so important. Like, this is a monumental moment here. Like, once a year, we're going to have a team that we're just going to shoot up to the top and see how they do. And this is that time. We're going to crown a CS champion and then hopefully crown a new Pro League team.
Yeah, it'll be so exciting to see eventually who that team could be at the end of the day tomorrow. But V, I mean, for many of these teams, this journey has not just been a day.
All right, there are a lot of tournaments going on right now. I wouldn't say much. I think for that, do we have any news in tech, by the way? Technology. Upcoming technologies 2025. Top new, okay. My portal. DeepSeek. Okay, I'm curious to see that one. Okay, when was this? 2 months ago. 2 months. But then that's late. That's pretty late as of now. The one that I'm actually curious to see is electric vehicles. Seems people are talking about a lot of things here. I'm curious. Let me see this.
Please shift the gear into P position.
Okay, not bad.
The rise of Chinese.
There's something I'm curious to know. Tesla versus BYD. I'm actually curious on this. The Achilles heel of electric vehicles. Tesla versus BYD 2025. Okay.
Tesla and BYD are fighting to become the world's biggest electric vehicle maker. But will China beat the US for EV dominance? Today, China has more
Who
EVs
knows?
than the rest of the world put together. And they're selling their EVs around the world. EVs accounted for 28% of all new car sales in China in 2023. But in the US, they were just 7% of new car sales. China's dominance is driven by massive charging infrastructure and homegrown giants like BYD and NIO. The US is home to Tesla. It's catching up, but faces challenges like charging network expansion and higher EV costs. Meanwhile, head over to India. It has a goal of 30% EV sales by 2030, so it's boosting domestic production. While Indonesia is leveraging its vast nickel reserves to become a battery powerhouse. But today, China's leading EV companies have huge plans to try to dominate global electric vehicle sales. But high import taxes in North America and the EU on Chinese electric car companies might make it hard. Tesla and BYD are fighting to become the world.
That's interesting. And even beyond that, I want to show you guys something. But let's finish these ones first.
What should we do when we're told to evacuate ahead of hurricanes? I'm in the state of Florida. The electric grid is overloaded, and we're stuck in a standstill traffic
Excuse
for
me.
hours, and tens of thousands of people are pouring onto our freeways.
I guess you'd have to hitchhike with somebody who has an internal combustion engine car. I think that's why a lot of consumers are concerned right now, a little skeptical about whether an EV is the right choice for them. They're not sure whether they'll have convenient access to charging. And in California, we see some rationing and restrictions on the hours when people can charge. And I think that concerns a lot of people. There are a lot of question marks in exactly that area.
What should we do when we're
I think that's probably one of the problems with electric vehicles. If there's no place where you can charge the vehicle, what happens? Especially when you're in the middle of nowhere. And for areas that have challenges with electricity, like in Africa, I can see like major electric generating companies and also distribution companies around Africa have established themselves in rural and remote areas in specific countries, whether it is South Africa, Kenya, West Africa, and what have you. Like those are there. The only challenge is now making sure that grid continues to remain on, because if it goes off, what happens? A good example of this, of course, is the electric train in Tanzania. Like, what happens if the electricity goes off? Does the train stop or that? I think those are things that need to be addressed. So the lack of electricity thereof is daunting, and it needs to be revisited, because we can't fully rely on electric technology. Fully, and I mean fully. Like battery technology is what will keep us going. And I think that is where, of course, a lot of these technological devices are headed. So whether we like it or not, like that is the future. That's what's going to happen. So, yeah.
And as you're familiar with BYD, which is also on the West Coast, I think they're ramping up production of their electric vehicles. Warren Buffett owns 10% stake in that. Why do you laugh? BYD is trying to compete. Why do you laugh?
Have you seen their car?
I have seen their cars, yes. In fact, at the Berkshire Hathaway meeting, I saw their cars. Tell me why you're laughing. You don't see them at all as a competitor?
No.
Why is that?
I don't think they have a great product.
Wait, 2024 is when they both draw.
And as you're familiar,
Yo, that is crazy. We talk about that. Yeah, and I have to say, BYDs, those guys are on fire. Like they're really hitting the right notes, and it's no joke. They are seriously hitting the right notes. And then if Elon continues to laugh, I think that is not good. Oh, that is not good. But this guy is on another level. You guy. So reason why I'm searching this is because there's this guy. His name is Maxwell Chikumbutso. I think I hope I haven't butchered that name, but yeah, he is the latest inventor of the first non-chargeable electric vehicle, which is crazy, very crazy.
Exists in the world. There's no other in the world. This is the only vehicle in the world that is here in Zimbabwe. And this young Zimbabwean. He's so gifted, you won't believe it. When he first came to talk to me, I thought he had some old wires. Now he's well connected. So they wanted to arrest him to change the physics.
Yeah, yes. Even when we tried to file a patent, they said we're violating the natural laws of physics. So it's not an industrial applicable. We decided to take the trade secret route after that. So with this car, you can also use it to power your house. It is a moving generator. When you drive from work back to your home, you can connect your power cable, then you can power your house. It gives you 15 kilowatts power to power your house. And the vehicle itself, it has got 160 kilowatts electric motor, which gives you a torque of about 312 to 380 meters of torque. That means it's fast. And we are talking of horsepower of around 250 horsepower. So when you compare this car with the same cars of this model, like the Toyota Urban Cruiser, you will see that this is efficient in everything. When you talk of load, our car doesn't weigh much. It weighs 1,405 kgs only. When you talk of an Urban Cruiser, you're talking of about 1,800. So that means you can carry extra baggage in the vehicle. Top speed is 220 kilometers per hour. Yeah, which is fast. It has got two driving modes. We have got the sport mode, which will give you 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in around 2 seconds. That is very, very powerful.
Isn't that crazy? Like literally. And I even saw, by the way, particularly, there's another place where this guy really he he shook the whole industry, like the whole electric vehicle industry, to the point that I think he was poisoned, if I'm not wrong. Abu, look for that clip. Abu, find that thing. Let me show you guys. They actually poisoned him. Like they wanted to like eliminate him just because of his revolutionary product. It's insane. Yeah, here we go. It is insane. What this guy is doing. People have no idea. So yeah, here goes.
Africa has long been a hub of innovation with locally made vehicles, helicopters, and power stations showcasing the continent's ingenuity. But now something truly groundbreaking is emerging.
Why is it slowing down?
An invention so extraordinary that it challenges everything we know about energy and technology.
Traditional ways of doing things. President Mnangagwa said no one can take away that capability. They said this earlier today when Zimbabwean innovator and inventor Maxwell Chikumbutso paid a courtesy call showcasing his latest invention of the world's first self-powering vehicles and motorbikes that run just on radio waves.
No fuel, nothing.
Nothing, no fuel.
That technology is crazy.
But it's power from the sky.
Yeah, from the radio frequency.
This one in Zimbabwe.
Yes, we've done it.
With groundbreaking innovation comes formidable opposition. Chikumbutso's journey has been riddled with danger. He and his friend were allegedly poisoned, a tragedy that left him as the sole survivor.
Can you imagine that? Like literally, he's become such a big threat in the electrical vehicle industry and maybe even fuel, to the point that they actually wanted to kill him, whoever those guys are. But yo, who is our God? Like literally, how he's still alive.
Wasn't that time Tukachedi didn't make it. He died
And he's still alive because God wants him alive.
in January 2017. I survived.
At least that's what I
Chikambuto
believe.
acknowledges his
So, yeah.
invention allegedly violates fundamental laws of physics, specifically the laws of thermodynamics.
The vehicle, it uses what we call the microsonic energy device. Microsonic energy device, it is the device that I personally invented in 2009, which harnesses radio frequencies, converted it into energy. As you know, radio frequencies, they are measured in nanovolts, meaning to say they are less than a volt, they are just like nothing. But we find a way of harnessing it through the creation of the 70% of the components in the microsonic energy, which I tailor-made to have designed. So those are the components that enable the radio frequency to be transferred into pure, useful energy. And this is the first time in the world. With that technology, it violates the laws of energy in thermodynamics and also the first law of energy as well.
This has sparked both fascination and skepticism. Powerful.
Very, very. This is the most fascinating device, I think, that has ever been created. Something that can, like literally, non-chargeable car. You don't need to charge it. Literally, it charges your house and your electrical appliances. That is so crazy.
Industries and nations stand
So
alone that his
crazy.
claims are true. As a result, silence and doubt have clouded his work. Elon Musk, who pioneered electric vehicles and proposed robo-taxis, now faces a potential game changer that threatens to overshadow
Yeah.
Tesla's breakthroughs.
Yeah. And I'm telling you this for a fact. By the way, if this guy is not poached by whichever BYD, by the way, you guys should be making moves. Tesla, you guys should be making moves. If anybody gets a hold of him, like, he's cooked. Because literally, that car is like a powerhouse. It literally charges things. So why would you need power? Why would you need electricity? All these things, why would you need them? Literally, you can disconnect from the power grid and connect that car to your house and do everything else from there. Simply, like literally that. As Africans, by the way, we should be buying this guy's car. Reason why we aren't, I don't know, but we should be doing it. Like, we should support this guy. But, you know, Africa being Africa, there are so many factors that are at play. There is politics, there is power, there is and by politics it could be, of course, public politics, it could be corporate politics, you know, jealousy, all those crazy things that could actually derail Africa from being the most enviable continent in the world. It's just because of things like this. And you'll see, by the way, I guarantee you, this guy is going to get poached. I don't know if he's patented this thing, but literally, guys are going to find him, and they will find a way to make this sellable. And if they do, like literally, this is a gone case. Africa will have lost another one, and it is very sad. And I tell you, by the way, for a fact, if they're not careful, Africa could lose this guy. For real, for real.
Meanwhile, China, a global leader in technology
If
and
they're-
innovation, is also watching closely. Welcome to Win Africa, and uncovering what his journey. Harare, Zimbabwe, has been fascinated with sustainable energy solutions since childhood. His story is one of resilience, self-discovery, and relentless pursuit of innovation. Born into humble beginnings, Chikambuto dropped out of school at just 14 years old, yet his mind never stopped searching for answers to the
Wow.
world's biggest technological challenges. His list of claimed inventions is both impressive and controversial. One of his most striking creations is a cordless powered television that functions without traditional electricity.
The first in the world to have such kind of
What? A TV that works without power.
technology where a television is powered with a radio frequency. So as you can see right now, I'm powering this television. You don't need to put it on electricity or on solar panel or anything.
His most astonishing claim is the invention of an electric vehicle powered entirely by radio frequencies, eliminating the need for fuel.
This is crazy. Like, this guy is just radio frequency hungry. And I mean that in a good way. Yeah.
Charging stations or external power sources. Maxwell Chikambuto
Wow.
is not focused on building cars, televisions, or other devices from scratch. Instead, his breakthrough lies in developing a self-charging system that powers these devices without the need for fuel or traditional charging.
Yeah.
By integrating his innovation into existing technology, he enables electric cars, household electronics, and other appliances to operate independently of conventional energy sources, redefining the way we think about sustainable power. If proven real, this tech...
since he was 14 years. He's been doing this.
Technology would not only place Africa at the forefront of global innovation, but also challenge the dominance of oil and energy conglomerates, disrupt the
Yeah.
electric vehicle empire, and shake the foundation of modern scientific understanding. But here lies the problem.
And by the way, he doesn't even need to shake the electrical vehicle industry if the electrical vehicles adopt his technology. Like, it's a done deal. Like, this is a game changer for him. It's the energy producing companies that should be scared, by the way.
Problem. Why has Maxwell Chikumbutso's work not been independently validated? Why do reports suggest he has received multiple death threats? And why are people demanding that he be protected? As we delve deeper into this journey, we will uncover the challenges, conspiracies, and forces at play, separating fact from fiction in the incredible story of Maxwell Chikumbutso. The introduction of a self-sustaining energy vehicle presents a direct challenge to the global oil industry and disrupts the technological dominance of major players like China and corporations such as Tesla. As the face of Tesla, Elon Musk has championed electric vehicles, EVs, and renewable energy, positioning his company as a leader in sustainable innovation. Tesla's mission to accelerate the world's transition.
If you're championing for things for the sake of humanity, then people should be going to this guy, actually, because electricity still produces there's still some factor of carbon emission in it. So if anything, like, we should be going for self-sustaining products, and that's where now this guy comes in. I don't know, maybe through some form of measurement, people could measure how much carbon his vehicle, or that's Maxwell's vehicle, is emitting. It could be more, who knows, but I think self-sustenance is also important, and we're reducing, we're literally converting energy that is already there into something else, and that is energy that can be easily found in the air. So
Transition to clean energy has driven advancements in solar integration
and also save on money. So yeah,
autonomous driving, and energy storage solutions. Musk envisions a future where homes generate electricity through solar panels, store excess energy in battery packs, and use EVs as mobile energy hubs. However, the emergence of Chikumbutso's groundbreaking technology threatens to upend this vision, especially if a vehicle that operates without external charging becomes viable. Such a development would shake Tesla's dominance and disrupt global energy markets. This may explain the silence from major industry players and nations with deep investments in existing energy infrastructures. Chikumbutso's invention has not gone unnoticed. He has received major industry players and nations with deep investments in existing energy infrastructures. Chikumbutso's invention has...
So, by the way, his vehicle is called the Sate. It's called the Sate. A microsonic energy device is the generator of this machine.
Not gone unnoticed. He has received multiple financial offers and invitations, including a multi-million-dollar proposal from American investors eager to bring him to the United States.
See, he's already being pushed.
Yet, despite being a high school dropout, the 44-year-old inventor refused the offer, opting instead to protect his work and tread carefully amid growing risks. His caution is understandable. The concept of converting radio waves into electrical energy to power vehicles is revolutionary.
And the issue with this, especially when you get into an agreement with a corporation, you have to protect yourself at all times, literally. Like, you need to have a lawyer there that can be able to guide you on, like, copyright and patent laws and things like that. And I think that's what Africa needs. And by the time now these guys go there, by the time they are, taking in all the money, like, Africa literally loses the person that they have been praying for an answer for, and here he is.
So much so that it challenges conventional physics, making it difficult to patent. The implications of this technology are enough to unsettle the world's most powerful energy and automotive industries, raising questions about what forces might be working behind the scenes to suppress it. Despite the potential of Chikumbutso's invention, it has faced significant skepticism. Multiple fact-checking organizations have challenged the validity of his claims, citing a lack of empirical evidence and documentation. Investigations suggest that his showcased vehicles were existing models, such as the KAI-X3 Pro electric car, powered by conventional lithium iron phosphate batteries, rather than groundbreaking self-powering technology. Chikumbutso has also electric car, powered and documentation. Investigations suggest that his showcased vehicles were existing models, such as the KAI-X3 Pro electric
powered by lithium iron phosphate, not a revolutionary fuel-free invention. The so-called hypersonic device he showed was also identified as a commercially available product. PR Nigeria's findings confirm that the radio waves are false. The alleged inventions were found to be commercially available products, rebranded and misrepresented as groundbreaking innovations. Okay, everyone is entitled to their own opinion.
Electric car, powered by conventional lithium iron phosphate batteries, rather than groundbreaking self-powering technology. Chikumbutso has also expressed concerns about patenting his technology, fearing that the process could expose his innovations to theft or suppression.
We have good laws. There's a term that I explain on my Facebook page so that people can understand how the laws, the patent laws work. They are patents, which are not patentable by being patents because of some issues. Good example, you can invent something that will promote monopoly. Automatically it's not patentable.
Yeah. If a monopoly comes in here.
Can invent something that is novel. It's new, but this thing can cause harm to people. It's not patentable. Our technology was classified as a technology that violates some laws of physics because patents examiners are guided by the natural laws. So they said you are violating the law of thermodynamics. This is not direct proportional. So it's not industrial applicable because it is reversing everything. You have to revisit science and change those laws. Yes, it is working, but because doing that, we have to relook everything. Relook everything. We have to dismantle everything. Then start afresh.
This highlights the broader challenges African inventors face in protecting intellectual property on the global stage.
That's what they've said. Oh, then they're done. I think. And you funny enough, you'll find that even in as much as they are declining to give him a patent for that, another company that will come and swoop in once they find the secret technology that he's using to, in order to, to save that power, they'll go and patent it and it will be out. And by the time he discovers, his stuff is already known to the public. So it's very sad.
While the veracity of Chikumbutso's claims remains under scrutiny, his story underscores a critical narrative: Africa's potential as a hub for innovation and technological advancement. Historically, African inventors have been underrepresented and their contributions overlooked. Regardless of the outcome, Chikumbutso's journey shines a light on the continent's capacity for groundbreaking ideas and the systemic barriers that hinder their global recognition. Maxwell Chikumbutso's purported self-powering electric vehicle has ignited discussions about the future of energy, transportation, and Africa's role in global innovation. While skepticism persists, the story serves as a catalyst for re-evaluating how emerging technologies from developing regions are perceived and supported. Despite the skepticism and criticism surrounding Maxwell Chikumbutso's groundbreaking invention, major strides are being made toward its recognition and commercialization. Renowned universities and scientific institutions have certified the technology, validating its potential to revolutionize the energy industry. Meanwhile, plans for mass production and distribution are already in motion, with efforts underway to introduce the self-charging device into various applications, including powering electric cars, televisions, and other essential devices.
We are in the commercial stage. Starting from tomorrow, we've got more machines. Most of them have been bought with these guys who came. We've got guys from PRC. They bought some machines as well. We didn't have much, but right now we are now in operation. And whoever wants a machine can now get it. We've got our distributor here in Zimbabwe who is going to be handling all the sales.
As the world grapples with the urgent need for sustainable energy solutions, Chikumbutso's innovation is steadily gaining traction, proving that true progress often faces resistance before achieving widespread acceptance.
Yeah.
As the world grapples with energy sustainability, stories like Chikumbutso's challenge us to broaden our perspectives and consider the untapped potential that lies within Africa. If you found this story insightful, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to We Africa for more groundbreaking stories, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Let's keep the conversation going in the comments. What do you think about Maxwell Chikumbutso's invention?
Yeah, so guys, I think that's it for today, for the discussions that we have in regards to esports, gaming, and technology. Revolutionary stuff here. Yeah, I hope Africa wins at the end of the day, through the various feats that it's accomplishing. Such stuff should not go unnoticed. For real, for real. But that's it, guys. Thank you for coming through to this live stream, our second episode of the Africa X Live podcast on the Player X Africa channel. If you liked this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up. If you have, click the bell to get notifications on when we upload on our YouTube channel, and also go live on all other platforms. Also, please be sure to check out also our social medias. The links are in the description below, together with other various places that we have presence. Our YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, yeah, and even our Patreon. If you want to contribute, or send us a little something, please support this program in one way or another. Share with all your friends, and we do appreciate everything that you guys are doing for us. But other than that, thank you for tuning in. It's time to bounce. We will meet each other once again, probably at the next month, that is in the month of May. Yeah, with that, adios, cheers, GG's, and bless. That was a good one. That was a good one.